Good morning. It's a cool 60 degrees here in Dallas this morning, and time to show you how we're going to start Coleus cuttings. We have a variety of these. We'll show you how to prepare those, so stand by. Here we go. Alright, let's show you how we take cuttings from Coleus. Here's the Coleus that we're going to be taking cuttings from. So I'll give you a quick tip on how we do it. You want to go down approximately 4 nodules from the end of the plant. And what you have is when you count back from the tip of the stem, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you want to have that included in your cutting. You can strip away all these leaves. We know that. We'll actually show you one here, and then that one will be ready to plant. Alright, I think we have enough. Let's go make cuttings out of these and get them potted. So here's some fresh cuttings we had just out of the garden this morning. So let's show you what we're going to do with some of these. When we take these, we're typically going to have the 1, 2, 3, 4 little nodules, and those represents the little areas where the leaves come into the stem. And we have to take off all that because roots are going to grow wherever those nodules are. And so when we take one of these cuttings like this, we basically want to cut off all the leaves except for the very top. Anything that's real big or real heavy, that's a real moisture or requires fluids to be able to grow, we're going to cut that off because we don't want the plant to be able to be starved by all the water being absorbed by the leaves. So we just pinch those off, and then we'll grow from here. So it just looks like a little palm tree almost. You cut off all that, and roots will put in here. So while we're waiting to put those in our potting soil, we'll put them in a water bucket. This is Redhead, one of my favorite colors. I always have this in my garden every year. Nice full stem, just a few leaves at the very top. We have these Coleus resting in the water, preparing to be put into soil. Here's another way you can prepare your Coleus cuttings, is you can stick them in some water that looks like this and wait for them to have roots that grow. Here's what they look like. Here's some that we had about 1 week. You can see the roots coming out here. You see a couple of small little root colorings coming out, and so they'll sprout roots. This is after 1 week. Here's some others that we've had. It's a different variety. We have a little bit longer roots here and here, and some like this one have none just yet. So this is 2 to 3 weeks on these green ones. You'll be able to see as we go along, different Coleus will have different lengths roots. It's not necessary to put them in water, but it's beneficial if you want to make sure. Other ways to put some rooting compound. We like a rooting gel to put on our Coleus. Helps them get started. Good growing. We're adding some more potting soil into our box, our bucket here, and it's nice and dry and airy. This is professional grade all-purpose potting soil, but it's too dry to plant in. So let me show you what we do. So we come over here, our potting soil, and we take our hose and we just start filling it up with water. We add probably a gallon into this. It's got to sit down and mix. There's nothing worse than having cuttings in a dry soil medium. It just will not work. You must have your soil wet and damp so it can immediately start taking up moisture. stick. We're going to poke holes where our coleus are going to go and make it easy for it to stick the stem into the root. What happens is we get two nodules into the soil to make contact with the soil, and that's where the roots form. So if you have somewhere you have a very high nodule up here that doesn't quite make contact with the soil, you may not have a good take on your root. Okay, we've finished the coleus cuttings. We have our coleus all put up, all cuttings have all been started and trimmed, and so now we have them in here in our greenhouse window. What's the most important thing to do now is to water them. You always want to keep your coleus nice and moist. So what we're going to do now is plant additional coleus. While we have 80 already planted, we plan to double that, and then each of our cuttings that grow, we'll take cuttings from those later in the winter as they grow so we can double the population. There we go. That's planting coleus. If you enjoy this tip today, be